Hey guys, I have a little bit of filming to do and I wanted to apply a little bit of makeup, so I thought I would come on here and show you guys how I do my everyday base routine. This is pretty much the routine I always do. It rarely ever changes, so let's get into it. So I've already put my septum piercing up because I hate having it down whenever I do my makeup or skincare, and the next step is primer. I'm someone that believes in primer. I have pretty dry skin and it's very crinkly and porous, so I like to put primers on there. That way my makeup can be as smooth as it can and last as long as it can, because along with all of that, I'm also very sweaty. I get very hot and like overwhelmed, and then my makeup just starts melting off my face, so I need my makeup to stay. So for my primers, I use two of them. For the first primer, I go in with the NYX Face Glue Gripping Primer. I use this on the outer perimeter of my face to grip my makeup onto it. And then for the second primer, I go in with this one from the Balm. This is the TimeBalm primer. This is a pore filling primer. So I pop this in any areas where I have pores or eye crease. So that's like on my cheeks, my forehead, the middle of my eyebrow, my top lip, my smile lines, the bottom of my lip, and my nose. I then get my little fan and I like to fan down my face just a little bit so the primers can have time to kind of like settle in. After letting the primers settle into my face a little bit, I like to go in with some color correction. So the main areas that I focus on are underneath my eyes. I have a lot of purple discoloration over here, so I like to cover that up. And then if my face is breaking out, which clearly it is going through it, I like to cover what pimples I have. So for my under eyes, the first product that I go in with is this one from SKINFOOD. This is the Dark Circle Salmon Concealer Cream. This is in the lighter shade out of the two. I believe it's 1. I get a little concealer brush and then tap into a little bit of the product and then just apply a light layer underneath my eyes. My mirror is way too far away, so I'm going to use this cute little mirror. Look at how cute it is. I think it's Choi Gishim. That's what this is called. I could be wrong though. It's very cute though, so I'm going to use that today so I can actually see what I'm doing. And then the next product I go in to cover all of my acne with is this product from VEECCI. This is a concealer palette that they have. This is in N01. It is such a nice concealer palette. I have done a few tutorials using this and full reviews over on TikTok. I think it is just such a fabulous palette, and if you are someone that has a very pale skin tone like me, this will work absolutely perfectly for you. I like to use little paintbrushes to cover all my blemishes. I just feel like they are perfectly thin and just work so well. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with the olive color over here just to kind of like neutralize everything on my face. I like to take a little bit and warm it up on the back of my hand because these are creams, so it works better when you do it like that. I just take a little bit of the concealer and then go over any of my red spots. I'm then going to go in with this really dark shade over here to further neutralize the color of each pimple. I've found by using as many colors as I can in this palette, it's really well thought out and it really helps to neutralize the color and the appearance of each pimple. I might film another tutorial using this palette if you guys are interested in that, because I think it really is such a universal palette and I really do love it and use it so frequently in my routine, so let me know if you guys are interested in that. Now that the color correcting is all done, I'm going to go in with my foundation. The first thing I like to do is wet my beauty blenders. I just wet it with a little bit of water in an old setting spray bottle just so they don't soak up as much product as it would if it was dry. I love using these beauty puffs from Momo's Workshop. This brand is so freaking cute. They have so many cute collections and I just love how like plush each puff is, and they're really great to wash and they have so many cute collections. Like I just like literally love this brand. You can use my code to save a little bit of money off. That will be in the description. So for my foundation, I'm using something that is discontinued. I believe it's from Revolution. It is the Conceal and Glow Illuminating Foundation. I have it in the shade F1. If you are someone that has a cool, neutral, slightly leaning pink skin tone and you're looking for a new foundation, Revolution has so many good foundation options. Their color F1 pretty universally all over their foundations are a really good match for me, and they match my skin tone so well. So if you're looking for something, you can't get this one unfortunately, but the F1 shade in the pink packaging is also really nice too. I just pop a little bit of this on the palm of my hand. I go in with about half a pump, I would say, and then if I need to add more, I will add more. I get my finger and work a little bit of the product into it, and then I start applying it to my face. I then get my sponge and work whatever's left on my hand into it, and then I just start blending everything out. Now the foundation's done, I'm going to go in with some concealer. I've recently been using this one from Revolution. This is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. This is in C1. I actually really love this concealer. So with this, I focus the product under my eyes a lot, I would say. I still have a lot of darkness and hollowness, so I like to conceal that as much as I can. And I like to go over here as well because I get a lot of darkness over there too, so I like to add some concealer there as well. I then like to go in the middle of my forehead, the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. And then I look at my whole face and see if there's any areas where I need to apply a little more concealer. So over any of my blemishes, I'm also going to apply a little bit of concealer too. And then a new thing I've been doing is letting my concealer settle on my face and dry down a little bit. To speed up the process, I'm going to go back in with my fan and just lightly fan down my face so it can dry down a little bit. The coverage can get a bit higher because clearly my skin needs it. So then after I've let my face dry down a little bit, I'm going to go back in with another beauty puff. I just use this one for my concealer, and then I'm going to start working that concealer into the skin. These pimples that I have on my face, they're the kind of pimples where no matter what I apply to them, nothing's sticking to them. So that's probably the best amount of coverage we're going to get on them. So let's move on. Next, I'm going to go in with face brightener. This is something that I love so much. I feel like it makes such a difference in your makeup. I feel like it really helps to add brightness to your face. And I've been using this product here from ShopMissA. This is the AOA Studio Top Secret Concealer. I believe that's what it's called. I don't know if you can get this as well. You would notice a common theme in all my makeup that a lot of it is actually discontinued. I have owned this makeup for a really long time. This is a really bright pot concealer. This is in the shade White. I just get a foundation spatula and scoop out a little bit of the product like so, and then pop it on the palm of my hand to let the warmth of my hand melt down the concealer a little bit. I then use the little foundation applicator and I work a bit of the product onto it. And then I apply it on any areas where I want to add a little bit of brightness. So definitely under the eyes. As you can see, as I tilt my eyes down, there's a bit of hollowness there. So I kind of want to neutralize that a little bit. So I just go in with a tiny amount of this concealer just on my hollow bags. And then I also go up into here because the bag travels upwards. I put it on the bridge of my nose to bring brightness and make it pop. I put it on the middle of my forehead for a similar reason. The main step is putting it on the mid-face to make it pop and bring it forward. I put some on my cupid's bow, the bottom of my chin, and underneath my lips on both sides. This is where I go back in with that previous beauty puff, the one I used for my concealer, and blend everything out. Now that I'm looking like an ultra blank piece of paper, it's time for contour, specifically cream contour. So I've been using these two products from Biya. These are really lovely. I don't know the names of them. Any products where I don't know the names of or shades, I will add them on the screen or in the description. That way you guys can see exactly what I'm using. But I got these off of YesStyle and I wanted to try both shades. This one over here is in 102 and this one is 202. This is the cool option and then this is the warm option. I have both of them, so I've just been trying to incorporate them into my routine and I think they are bloody lovely. So I'll show you guys how I use these because there's a specific way to actually use these products. So these are a liquid contour. They come like this, they're very liquidy. I used to apply it directly to my face and wonder why it looks so bad. And with this, you need to apply a little bit on the palm of your hand and then work your product into the brush or beauty blender or whatever you're using to blend out all your contour. I like this flat top foundation brush. I use the shade 102, the gray one, as my general contour all over my face. And then to add some more depth and darkness and dimension, I go in with 202 because this is a little bit warmer. So I go in with a little bit on my palm and then I work the brush into my palm. And then I go ahead and just contour my whole face. This one is the base contour, as I said. I also use this contour as my under the lip contour and my nose contour as well. If anything is looking a little too much, I just go in with my powder puff that I use to blend out my concealer and just go over the top of the contour. That way the product in here can help blend out everything. So after I've used the 102 shade all over my face, I go in with the 202 one in the high points. So I go in with this same process. I pop a little bit on the palm of my hand and then I work my brush into the product. Now that contour's done, I'm going to go in with a little bit of cream blush. I've been using this one from Morphe. This is the cream blush in the shade Subscribe. You can see it right there. It is a really pretty berry color. I've actually been obsessed with a color like this. I feel like It just creates such a natural flush on the face, and it just goes with like every makeup look I do. With this product in particular, you can go in with quite a lot of it. So I just pop in any places I want to be a bit blushed. Once you blend everything out, it is super light. That's why I've gone in with quite a lot of it. I just go in with the brush and then blend everything out. This is literally such a nice product. Look at how nice that blush looks. It is discontinued as well, unfortunately. Morphe has a lot of really good products, but they discontinue like literally everything, so can't get this anymore, unfortunately, as well. My skin is honestly looking pretty dry, so I'm going to do something a little different than I normally do. I have this product here from Maybelline. This is the glass spray. It creates like a dewy look on your face, so I'm going to shake this up a little bit and apply a little bit of this to my face to sort of bring it back to life. I just feel like my skin needed a little bit of a pick-me-up. I'm then going in with this sponge that I use to apply all my foundation and just tapping over my whole face to make sure that none of that excess setting spray is on there and it's all sunk into my skin. That looks a little better, and now I'm gonna go in and set my whole face with some powder. I use this one from I Heart Revolution. It's the coconut scented baking powder. I actually really like this. I have quite dry skin, and I found that this powder still looks really nice on my skin every time I apply it. I just pop a little bit of the powder onto the lid, and then I get my powder puff and dip the product into there. Once my puff is coated, I just pop the excess on my palm, and I just work that product into the puff. So that way it's nice and evenly distributed. And then I just go ahead and pop the powder anywhere I put the concealer. Since I'm going to reinforce everything with powders, I don't really need to powder my whole face because my contour and my blush is going to get powdered anyway with its own respective colored product. Now to add a little more coverage on my skin, I'm going to go in with this powder from Kmart. This is the OXX Studio #1 Porcelain Flawless Finish Press Powder. This is yet another discontinued makeup product. I'm just going to get my powder puff and tap into a little bit of the product. And then everywhere I placed that face brightener when I did that way back when, I'm going to reinforce that with this powder. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into that VEECCI concealer palette. This shade over here is a powder, so this has a lot of color in it, and this is great for cancelling out anything that you want to on your face. So this is a pigmented powder. It's not like a setting powder. It has a lot of pigment in it, so I would only use this on areas you want to knock out any darkness or add extra coverage to. So I'm pretty much just going to go over those two pimples just to add a little more coverage on them. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit under my eyes as well to make them super, super bright and cancel out all that hollowness. And then this is what my skin looks like after I have done all of that. I feel like it looks very nice and seamless. And now I'm going to go in with my powdered products. Firstly, I'm going to go in with some powdered contour. I've been using this one from ROM&ND. I believe this is the Better Than Shape contour in #1 Oat Grain. It is the more cool option out of the two available. So much like my cream contour options, there's a lighter and a darker option. I use the lighter color over here to use that as my base contour, and then I go in with the darker shade over here to go in those high points and really add some dimension and slim everything down. So everywhere I place that gray contour, I'm going to go in with this shade over here first. I'm now going to go in with that darker color to add that further dimension. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of powdered blush, and I've recently been using this eyeshadow palette from Flowy. This is really, really nice. It is a really cute palette. First of all, like literally look at the pans and then look at the packaging of the palette. There's a little attachment here where it adds a little keychain and some brushes. It's super, super cute, but this palette is really, really nice. It's really light on the eyes and I enjoy it for that, but I've recently been using it as my blush option and I think it is just absolutely stunning. Because these are eyeshadows, these have a glitter all throughout them, as you can see. So it's not just a topper, it's actually in the formula. And these are like perfect for blush. They are quite powdery. When you tap in a little bit, you can see there's a lot of fallout there, but that's not going to stop me. So I just go in with the both shades, tap off, and then apply it over top where I put that cream blush. Like seriously, look at how sparkly and lovely that is as blush. Now, if you thought the blush routine was all done, you'd be wrong. I love to do something called mid-face blush, which is essentially where you put blush in your mid-face. This area here is your mid face. It just adds a really cute dolly look, and I feel like it helps use up the negative space there. And I always felt like something was missing in my makeup, and I feel like this was definitely the step. Ever since I started doing it, I literally haven't stopped, and I can't do my makeup without doing it. So this one actually isn't a ColourGram blush. This previously was one that I had used up. This is so nice. This is the ColourGram Reforming Flush Blusher in 4 I Was a Lilac. It is a color like this, but since I finished it, I was like, what am I going to use as my mid-face blush now? And I had a bunch of eyeshadows lying around, so I created my very own Franken mid-face blush. I get a powder puff, and I literally just tap into the product like this as it was like a pressed powder. And then with a light hand, I start adding it to the mid-face. And that's what it looks like all done. I just feel like it adds such a cute dolly look, as I said, and I just love it, so I'm going to keep doing it. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with my faux freckles, or like moles, whatever you want to call them. So since I'm a natural redhead, I have freckles all over my face, and I also have this little beauty mark over here. So I originally started filling just the beauty mark, and I use this little Maybelline brow product in 260 Deep Brown. For my moles, I like a brown color rather than black, as my complexion is very pale, so black sometimes is a little too stark on my face. I pretty much get this and then just fill in my little beauty mark that I have here. And then since I have freckles all over my face, I like to pop one underneath my right eye. I have a lot of freckles there normally, so I just pick one and then fill that in. Now I'm going to move on to highlight. So for my highlight routine, I go in with 2 products. The first one is a cream highlighter. This one's from Morphe. This is the Dimension Effect Highlight Stick in Effect 1. And then I go in with a powdered highlighter. For the first step, that is the cream highlighter. I don't apply this directly to my face, as I found it disturbs the base underneath. So I go in with my highlight brush and I load up the product onto the brush. And then I start to apply it on my face in any areas where I want the highlight. Now after that's all done, this is where I go in with my powdered highlighter. I've recently been using the highlighters in my Project Pan palette. This is the Makeup Revolution X Bratz Chloe palette. So when I open it up, these 4 shades over here are all highlighters. I go in with this shade over here in Feathers. I go in with the same highlighting brush, and then I tap into a little bit of the product, and then I go over all the areas. I pop that cream highlighter. Now this is the step where I go in and do my eyebrows. Originally, I used to do my eyebrows before I put on any product, but I've just started doing it at like virtually the end of my makeup. I literally have no reason as to why. I use this product from Etude. This is the Drawing Eyebrow, and it is in the shade 6 Ash Brown. I actually really like this eyebrow pencil. I really like the tip. It's not really very thin as a lot of people prefer, but I like ones like this. I feel like they really help you to get a very snatched brow. So I use a little spoolie on the end to untangle my eyebrows and brush them into place. And then I just go to town. This is where the concentration comes into place, because I don't really clean them up too much, so I have to get them looking good. Now that my eyebrows are on my face, to set them down and set my hairs into place, I'm going to be going in with an oldie but a goodie pear soap. I have had this pear soap for literal years at this point. It has lasted me such a long time, and recently I've been using this as my brow gel, and I've been using it for the past couple months and it has barely gone down. I actually quite like it, honestly. People were onto something back in 2016. I just get a little bit of water and spray that down, and then use a random spoolie I'm not using for anything. Then I just go to town in my brows. Now, as the last step for my base, I'm going to go in with some setting spray. Normally, I use 2 or 3 setting sprays, but since I'm just at home, and even recently, I've just been using the one spray. I've been using the glass spray from Maybelline. I actually really like this. I found it at TK Maxx, and I'm not sure where else you can get it from, but it is so freaking nice. It really helps to lock your makeup into your face and make it super glowy. I'm then quickly going to go back in with my powder puff just to tap over my whole face and make sure there's no excess setting spray, because this can very quickly make your face look greasy, so you really need to go in with a light hand, I've noticed. So that is pretty much my base routine all done. This is now the step where I would go in and do my eyes and my lips, but that's a whole separate thing, so I'm only showing the base routine today. As I said, this is pretty much my everyday base that I do. I don't really switch up my products too often, or even my routine. This is pretty much the same routine I've been doing for years at this point. If there's any codes or links to any products I spoke about in this video, those will be in the description. Don't worry guys, if you're interested in purchasing anything or having a look at stuff that I talked about in this video, those will all be there for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I've been loving planning out my YouTube and getting stuff posted on there. It has been such a joy, and I really want to keep posting. So if you guys have any suggestions you want to see from me or anything at all, please let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to film a video. You guys know Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.